Hello and welcome. Today is day 17 of my 30-day cyber challenge. We are still currently working on TryHackMe platform. We are inside the Introduction to Cybersecurity learning path within the Intro to Offensive Security module, and we are currently working out of the Operating System Security room. Today is task 3, which is practical example of OS security. And I do see we have a virtual machine, so we're going to go ahead and just get that kicked off. However, I'm just going to go ahead and read through this so we can kind of follow along together so we all understand based off the verbiage here what we're supposed to do with the actual buttons. So let's just go ahead and dive in. In one typical attack, the attacker seeks to gain access to a remote system. We can accomplish this attack by tricking the target into running malicious file or by obtaining a username and or password. We will focus on the latter. After discovering a username, we will try to guess the password. Furthermore, we will try to escalate our privileges to a system administrator. This account is called root on Android, Apple, and Linux systems, while on MS Windows systems, this account is called administrator. The accounts root and administrator have complete unrestricted access to a system. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right down here. So in this task, we will try to hack into a Linux system. We assume that you have never used a Linux system before, and we will explain accordingly. So start the attack box by clicking the blue Start Attack Box button in the top right of the room. So we're going to scroll back up, and we have this option right here. I'm going to click Use Attack Box. Oh, there we go. Starting. Awesome. It will pop up in split screen normally. However, if it does not, you can come back up here. There will be a blue button that says split screen. You just click it. It'll automatically pop into split screen mode for you. And now the next item is going to be start the machine using the green button. So we're going to go ahead and go back up inside this task, and we're going to start our machine by clicking the green button. So what's this doing? So right now we're starting the machine, which is this here. This is going to tell us which machine we're basically going to attack or basically exploit or find vulnerabilities upon. What's happening over here on the right is we're actually getting a virtual machine, which is our attack box, hence where we're going to work from to attack other machines. Or as you can see, it says use the attack box to attack machines you start on tasks. So this will have its own IP as well. This virtual machine will have its own IP. So we're going to go ahead and scroll back down. And as you can see, these items are going to take a few minutes to load. Once they are both ready, you should use the attack box, which should be taking the right half of your screen by now. So we're just going to go ahead and start reading, and then we'll jump into the task once we have everything populated for us. So on the attack box, start the terminal by clicking the terminal icon shown in the image above. You will be writing all the commands you need on the terminal shown below. So we need to find it by clicking this icon here. And this is what our terminal is going to look like. So it did say we're going to be running commands, and the commands that it appears we're going to be utilizing are going to be right here. So we will cover the following Linux commands and explain them throughout this course. Who am I? SSH, ls, cat, and history. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and scroll back up. It looks like we're almost done loading here with our virtual machine. And as well, we do have our IP of which we're going to attack. So this is our virtual machine here. You are more than welcome to go ahead and read this little outline or excerpt, if you will. This is just an understanding to your role and responsibility while you are utilizing the TryHackMe virtual environment, and as well where to find specific items such as web shells, word list, and other tools. And you can kind of jump through this if you wish. So we're just going to go ahead and hit enter to bypass. We're going to open up our command line, and we're going to go ahead and scroll back down, and we can see that we have our command line here, which has this IP, which matches the IP up here of our attack box. And we have this IP address, which is different, and that's the one that we're going to exploit or attack. And you will notice that will pop up within the actual task itself. All right, so we're hired to check the security of a certain company. When we visited our client's office, we noticed a sticky note with the words Sammy and Dragon on one of the screens. Let's see if Dragon is Sammy's password on the target machine of 10.10.11.228. from the attack box terminal, we will try to log into Sammy's account by executing SSH Sammy at 10.10.11.228. The remote system will ask you to provide Sammy's password, which is Dragon, and the first time we connect to a server over SSH, we will get a warning about the server's authenticity and the SSH key. We need to answer, are you sure you want to continue connecting, with yes. Please note that the following: when entering a password over SSH, when you log in via SSH, you won't see that you are typing the password. In other words, when you are typing SSH password, you won't see any stars, dots, or any other indicators on the screen notating that the password is being typed. However, the system will and still receives the password you are typing in. So we're going to go ahead and start this by doing SSH Sammy at 10.10.11.228. Enter. Are we sure? Yes, we're sure. Password Dragon. Enter. Notice I didn't pop up, and it appears that we have the same screenshot here as what's shown in our example. So we can see we have logged in as Sammy. Perfect. And it looks like Sammy's running on an Ubuntu 20.04.4 LTS, which is long-term support. All right, let's go ahead and scroll down. All right, amazing, it worked. Let's confirm that we are logged in as Sammy by using the command of who am I? And it returns Sammy, so that's perfect. And now to list the files in the current directory, we can use the command line of ls, which stands for list. And we can see we have country.txt, draft.md, icon png, password.txt, and a profile JPEG. All right, in the terminal below, we see the usage of the 4 commands: SSH, who am I, ls, and cat. Follow along from the attack box terminal. All right. So let's go ahead, and it says we can concatenate. Let's concatenate the file name, which is this step here. And let's concatenate draft.md, because it looks like that's exactly what they did here. So I'm going to do the same. And we can see the markdown file is, which that's what that stands for, .md stands for markdown. Operating system security, reusing passwords means that your password for other sites becomes exposed if one service is hacked. Okay, that's just listing what we see inside of this file here. All right, in our brief introduction to Linux, the last command that we will cover is history. So just a quick run through, we ran SSH, who am I, ls, cat, and now we're going to check out history so we can print out the commands used by the user. So let's go ahead and type that in here, history, and we can just kind of start running back and take a look. All right. It says we have learned about 2 other usernames that can access the attached machine. They are Johnny and Linda. We know that both of the users have little regard for cybersecurity best practices. We can use several ways to guess the passwords for these 2 users. Here we list 2 approaches. If you are not logged in as Sammy or any other user, you can use SSH Johnny and manually try one of the password after the next to see which password works for Johnny. If you are logged in as Sammy or any other user, you can use SU to Johnny and manually try password after the next to see which passwords work for Johnny. Okay, so we are logged in as Sammy, so we're just going to do SU, which I do believe stands for switch user, and we're going to go to Johnny. All right, and we're going to see if that works. All right, cool. It's going to ask us for the password. So based on the top 7 passwords, let's try to find Johnny's password. What is the password for the user? And I see here, let's go ahead and zoom in a bit. And it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our password must be about 6 characters. And common passwords. So let's try this one. Nope. CSU, switch user authentication failure. So we're back at Sammy. So let's do switch user again. And let's find a different 6 password. Try QWERTY. All right, so we at least know it's going to be from the top 7. So we're going to at least go, and next one could be, but I'm going to go ahead and go with this one for whatever reason. So we're going to go ahead and switch user one more time. Boop. Kill that dead space. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. Now we're in as Johnny. All right, now let's go ahead and go back to task 3. And it looks like our password is ABC123. Awesome. And once you're logged in as Johnny, check the history. So we're going to use the history command to check the commands that Johnny has typed. We expect Johnny to have mistakenly typed the root password instead of a command. What is the root password? So we're going to do history. And let's take a look. So he came in, he took a look inside. So for me, honestly, I don't know what VI stands for. So what I'm going to do is, what does VI in Linux commands stand for? So visual, VI is a text editor for Linux, Unix. So I wonder if that means it's opening the text editor. So in Linux, FOSS, what does VI stand for? The classic VI visual. All right. What does a command like VI notes.txt mean? Do. Okay, so yeah, it opens up a visual text editor and for that file. All right, and then MV I know is move, so we're moving notes text to coffee text. We did a VI for cheese text, wget. I have to be honest, I don't know what that one is either. So let's do that one. Wget in Linux commands. Get is a non-interactive network downloader which is used to download files from the server when the user has not logged onto the system. It can work in the background without hindering the current process. Okay, so they went to this URL to pull down the file? Yes, download. And then they looked inside, they switched over to root, and then they typed in happy hacking. So we can do copy. If ever you have issues with copying, you can click this as well, and it should copy to the clipboard. If it doesn't, you can always click into it and then copy it. Then you gotta hit close for it to go away. And so it looks like we found the password to be happy hacking. Good deal. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and close out of here. So while logged in as Johnny, use the command switch user -root to switch to the root account. So let's do this because it appears that Johnny has the ability to jump over to root, as we see right here, and he did it more than once. So we're gonna go ahead and hit enter, and it looks like he typed in the password. So we're gonna type in Same thing. We're gonna go in our clipboard. We're gonna hit Control C, close that bad boy up, Control V, enter. Let's see what we get. Oh, all right, there we go. Authentication failure. All right, so display the contents flag.txt. So let's try that again. su-root. And we know it's happy hacking. All right, we're in. All right, so now that we're in, we're gonna go ahead and take a look around. We're gonna use ls. And it looks like we got flag.txt, so we're gonna hit cat. Actually, you know what? I'm curious what vi does, so we're gonna do vi flag.txt. Aha! So it does, it opens up into a visual editor. And copy, and paste. Got it. Awesome. So we've completed the room. All right, now we're gonna go in here, and I do believe to get out, you gotta hit Q. Is it Q? Or is it, no, it's Control. Thought it was Q to get out. All right, so is it Control X? Well, let's find out. How to close out of VI within Linux terminal. Dash with or without saving your files. Okay, so hit a dash. That did not work. Nope. Type okay, so there you go. That's how you do it. I was able to get out with this one here, WQ, without saving. I did try this one here as well. It did not work for me, but I could have typed it in incorrectly. So awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and back out of that. And I'm gonna go ahead and close the terminal out. Close this. We're gonna terminate that machine. We're gonna terminate that machine. And we are complete with this task 3. We are complete with the room, and we are done with day 17.